right? So on this episode, I'm actually starting to work towards changing the rocker panels out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the interior and sort of do an assessment of the floorboards and everything else that I might need to replace, and start making the plan for how I'm going to start replacing the floorboards in the car and replacing and repairing the rust on the car. I'm still waiting for parts to come in to get the car to not overheat on me, but I figure while the car's off the road, I might as well start looking into doing the rust repair that needs to happen on this car in order for it to be a safe and suitable car to drive out on the road regularly. As always, if you like what you see, comment, like, subscribe, and enjoy that you're watching so far. Thank you. A tour around and why I'm going to be working on the welding and stuff like that in the floor pans. Here was a previous attempt at repairing some floorboard here. So we got a nice metal sheet here. We've got a nice Fred Flintstone hole here. I haven't taken off these kicks. However, you can see like that's all just right here is really bad. Underneath the seats doesn't look terrible, but there's some seams here that don't look good. If you go back to the back, you'll notice that like here in this corner, right, like it's worn out. So I've got some new floorboards right here. Whenever it started leaking fuel, clearly it leaked down underneath the seat, because last time I took the seat out, this was not here like this. So I'm going to probably take all this up and replace it. Also give me a chance to see what kind of rust is underneath here. But all in all, hopefully we can save it. There's going to be a lot of cutting and patching and fixing. So I've never done it before, so we're going to figure this out and learn it together. Stick around because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Also, I forgot to sort of show you, so I took out the rear seat, excuse me, and I also took out all the carpet kit, and I'll take out the rest of these door sills as well. Alright, so as you can see, the floorboard is got many a hole in it. It's pretty loose. What I'm going to end up having to do is cut out this frame box section, put in a new box section underneath, as well as replace this floor pan. I already have a new floor pan for it, as you saw me sort of lay out a little bit earlier, but I'll sort of cut out along here. I'll then sort of cut back and add in the pieces that I think I need to add back in this area, because this whole entire section is just pretty loose. Like that, it's not even connected over there. I can see the daylight through it. So I'll sort of get that all cut out, and then I'll put in a new floor pan. Like I said, this piece I'll put in a new big box section here. Maybe try to figure out if I can add in a jacking point here too, so that way I can actually jack up the car from the jacking points versus on all the suspension pickups. I'll look for, whenever I come back in here, I'll look for the different spot welds along here. I'll drill those out, then I'll cut this piece out slightly smaller than the piece I have to put in. Check and make for sure that I can actually weld that to strong metal, coat the stuff that I need to coat, and then build this out. But first things first, cut this out, make a new frame piece for it, which I'll probably have to start like up in this area, maybe even farther forward to find good metal, and then bring that back out to here where it sort of curves up in the floor pan. It's pretty much what I expected. I'll be honest. Like, I mean, I knew there was a little hole here. I didn't think it was quite this big, but I think it'll be fine. I think we'll get it figured out and go from there. what I'm going to do today is, I know this back portion of this is toast. I'm going to look at and see whether any of this is worth salvaging, or whether I need to cut out this whole entire boxed piece and actually make a whole new frame rail for this portion. I think maybe I can go to about right here and then bring it forward, or bring it back. So like right here and bring it back, but I might end up having to cut this whole thing off. So I'm going to take a look at that today, and then hopefully build this frame rail, and then weld that in place, and then start to work on getting the floorboard in. I'm surprised, right? Alright, so I don't know why I'm surprised, but this frame rail is quite a bit thicker than the metal that I have on hand, as well as the metal brake that I purchased the other day to bend sheet metal is not up to par. So I'll likely have to order these, which means I'm going to go ahead and I might as well just replace the whole entire frame rail if I'm going to buy brand new ones. It's probably more cost effective in the long run for me to just order these parts, because they are available online. But that just means that I'm going to be held up for another couple weeks while I wait for the parts to come in. So I'll move on probably to some other parts here and see if I can maybe replace the rear floorboard on the driver's side, since the front is going to have to wait on that. Have to wait on this. So yeah, fun. But as always, we'll continue to work and maybe get some other stuff cleaned up on the car. And yeah, this is the problem of working on old cars, right? You cut in, you think you got something ready to go, and you find out you don't. But I would rather wait on the correct part and have this car back to really good shape than sort of find myself in a pickle whenever I don't have the right parts, or I put a substandard piece down below the car. Yep. All right. So now I got to figure out what I'm going to do next. Probably focus on. You can maybe just move to the rear passenger's piece right here and cut this out, and then rebuild this section, and then replace this floor pan. So yeah, always something. Alright, so tune in next time whenever I continue to make the frame rail and start welding it back in.